I bet you've all heard the phrase, never give up, probably on more than one occasion. It's the idea that winners never quit and quitters never win. Today I offer a different narrative where quitting becomes the unexpected hero, a courageous choice that leads us to rediscovering our happiness and our passion. What if sometimes you must quit to prosper, for your well-being, and to find the right path to success and happiness? The word quit tends to have a negative connotation. Even I shy away from saying I quit. You see, I consider myself a high performer and overachiever, and quitting and hard work just don't belong in the same sentence, or so I thought. But let's look at quitting from a different perspective. Let's view it as a way of reassessing what is truly important to you. Quitting means stepping back to dig deep and discover the things essential for your fulfillment. So often, we would rather fight a battle that we know we will lose, allowing ourselves to be miserable, stressed out, in pain, and suffer horribly, both mentally and physically, just to say that we are not quitters. But sometimes the consequences of not quitting are detrimental. I know way too well the consequences of not quitting, when you should. I'm no longer ashamed or embarrassed to admit that in 2021, I had a mental breakdown. I'll never forget the day I just started crying uncontrollably. I was tired. I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I was miserable, unhappy. And my goodness, I was masquerading like everything was normal when deep down inside, I was in so much pain. I got tired of working hard and not reaping the awards I desired. I'd hoped to climb the corporate ladder, but after 7.5 years, that dream remained elusive. What made it even more disheartening was the lack of diversity I saw on the organizational chart. It felt demoralizing because I realized there was no place for me at the top table. Despite holding a Juris Doctorate, it became apparent that I was considered inadequate for the executive position. And I couldn't accept that feeling anymore. I felt like a failure, being stuck in the same position, getting 2% and 3% pay raises that amounted to mere pennies after taxes. It made me feel like a disappointment. I couldn't help but question whether this was what I had invested. 7 years of education and student loans, working hard, struggling to climb the ladder. It seemed utterly pointless. My misery overwhelmed me, dominated my everyday life. I'll be with my husband and kids, yet my mind would wander, and I wouldn't be present. Lost in my thoughts, I wished for a better life. My unhappiness made it difficult for me to be fully present as a mother and a wife, and to find joy in the company of the people who loved me and depended on me, my family and friends. It was challenging to show love to those who loved me when I couldn't even love myself. When people would ask me how I was doing, I masqueraded. I was deceptive and pretended to be living my best life. Even though I was sad, I was stressed and just felt empty inside. I know I can't be the only one. So many people are afraid to quit, whether it's a lousy job or a relationship, because they fear the embarrassment and disappointment and the shame of being labeled a quitter. In 2022, in contrast, 4 million US employees quit their jobs monthly. What drove 47 million people in a historical movement now known as the Great Resignation to quit their jobs? Research shows the top reasons people quit their jobs is because they're burnt out, they're tired, they're frustrated with being disrespected at work, they're frustrated with being undervalued, underpaid, and not seeing growth and promotion opportunities. After the Great Resignation, there was a new trend: quiet quitting. Instead of quitting their jobs outright, when unhappy with aspects of their work or company, workers are abandoning the notion of going above and beyond without adequate compensation, opting instead to do the bare minimum. The latest movement is called Grumpy at Work, or loud quitters, where employees stay in their current roles, but they openly show they're unhappy. Grumpy workers feel stuck in their jobs. They're not satisfied, but they can't find another job easily. Unlike quiet quitters, instead of staying quiet and going about their work, they speak up about their complaints and get into confrontations at work. Right now, in this room, there might be some of you who have been silently quitting, some grumpy workers, and others a mix of both. But it's not limited to just this room. The frustrations of workers feeling dissatisfied with their workplaces is a worldwide issue. According to a Gallup poll, 85% of employees are unhappy with their jobs. I stand before you today as one of the millions of US workers who quit their jobs. At first, I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. How could I be a quitter? Even when times were tough in college, I didn't quit. I graduated. Even when times were tough in law school, I didn't quit. I pushed through. I worked harder. I graduated. I passed the bar. Days after quitting, I had remorse. Did I make the right decision? I thought, oh my goodness, what did I do? What I came to understand is that I don't need to be afraid of quitting in every situation. I need to acknowledge when it's the right moment to step away. What happened when I left my job was that I had to figure out who I was again. Since 2021, it's been a tough journey of self-discovery and trying to find my passion and determine who I want to be. What I've discovered is you don't have to accept less, be undervalued, disrespected, or feel like you don't belong when you show up at work. Don't be like me. Don't wait years and allow yourself to be broken before taking action. Because I'm standing before you, still picking up the pieces and trying to rebuild myself. I'll never forget what my doctor said to me when I had a mental breakdown. She said she's never had a patient say on their deathbed, "I wish I worked more hours." You shouldn't be near death to make changes to your life. You have to act and make changes before it's too late. I've come to understand the importance of letting go of things that harm your well-being. I want to challenge you to look deep within yourself and reflect. Are you content with who you are today? Are you satisfied with your achievements and what you have managed to accomplish? Do you feel acknowledged? Do you feel heard? Do you feel appreciated, valued, worthy, and deserving? Do you have the freedom to be your true self? Are you at peace? If your answer is no, I see you. I see you, and it's time to release the things that are holding you back from reaching your full potential and from finding true fulfillment. Listen, I'm not here to claim I have all the answers or possess a magical solution. But what I can share is my real life experience. 2 years after quitting, I'm still in the process of rebuilding and healing. The truth is, when I left my corporate job, I faced difficulties finding work. I turned down job offers that required me to uproot my family and offered inadequate pay. Out of necessity, I ventured into entrepreneurship because I knew I could not subject myself to another toxic work environment. I understood that the best path for me, as I journeyed through self-discovery and recovery, was to build my own business. I understand the comfort of the familiar and the fear of the unknown. I almost didn't quit. Someone at my job advised me to simply collect a paycheck, do the bare minimum, essentially quiet quit. But I couldn't accept that kind of life. Is being disengaged and unhappy at work just for a paycheck really a way to live? So why do I share my story with you today? It's because someone here today or out there in the world might be broken just like I was. I want to show them that there's always a better way. And sometimes quitting can be the first step toward a brighter future. What I don't want is for anyone to think that the only way out might be to take drastic measures. By sharing my story on social media, I met two amazing women who became my mentor, Lara Frederick and Lisa Lang. I connected with them on LinkedIn while I was trying to find work. And I can't even remember exactly how we started talking, but it felt like destiny brought us together. With over 930 million people on LinkedIn, I somehow found these incredible women who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. They saw me struggling to find work, noticed my vulnerabilities and insecurities, and took me under their wings. I wasn't actively seeking mentors, but meeting them made me realize how important mentorship can be. Their guidance ignited something powerful within me. It's why I'm standing before you today on this stage. I quit my old job because I had the audacity to demand more. And I'm still demanding more every day. I refuse to settle for less. And with each passing day, I'm becoming more of the person I want to be. I want to take charge of defining who I am and be someone I can look in the mirror and feel proud of. When I quit my job, I had this idea of revenge success in my mind. Well, I wanted to show my company they lost a really good worker. I hoped they would regret letting me go without a fight. Yes, that's right. When I handed in my 2-week notice, they replied with the usual polite message. Thank you for your 7.5 years with the organization, blah, blah, blah. We wish you all the best. That's when it hit me. And it hit me hard. They didn't fight to keep me. Let me say that again. They didn't fight for me. In a short time, they found someone else to replace me. I recently read a quote that resonated. You are replaceable at work, but you are not replaceable at home. The tough truth is that everyone can be replaced at work. So it's important to take care of yourself, prioritize your well-being, your family, and your life. So you might be wondering how my revenge success journey is going. What I've come to realize in my pursuit to prove them wrong is that they were never right in the first place. No matter what I did, that organization was never going to be the right fit for me. In essence, in my quest to show them, I end up revealing something far more significant. I discovered my worth. And I am a force to be reckoned with. During my journey towards achieving success, I launched 2 TV shows. Even though I didn't have any prior experience, I boldly decided that I was going to dive in and learn as I went along. The past year has been incredibly rewarding. I've won awards, received recognitions, and one notable moment was being selected by the American Bar Association Legal Technology Resource Center's Distinguished Women of Legal Tech List 2023, where they only choose 11 women. And I am the co-founder of DEI Directive, a tech company that helps organizations do the dang thing when it comes to DEI processes, actually taking action to build truly inclusive teams using our DEI data analytics intelligence platform. And now look at me today, standing before you as a TEDx speaker. I can genuinely attribute all these achievements to the bold step I took when I left my previous job. These last 2 years have been about exploring and discovering my true passions. My personal experience has transformed into a mission to assist others in discovering true happiness uncovering their passions, and escaping toxic work environments. During my corporate years, my primary focus was climbing the corporate ladder, achieving financial success. However, the past 2 years have taught me that while financial stability is important, it loses its significance if it doesn't align with personal happiness. Being wealthy doesn't guarantee happiness. I've learned to value more meaningful and fulfilling aspects of life and to eliminate toxicity. Through my journey of self-discovery, I've learned a valuable lesson: the art of letting go. I've come to deeply appreciate how quickly I can leave things that are toxic. This lesson, the power of purposeful quitting, has been instrumental in my personal growth. It freed me from the shackles of unfulfilling pursuits and inspired me to channel my energy towards endeavors that truly matter. I used to be afraid of quitting, afraid that quitting was a sign of failure, a sign of weakness. But now, I'm a quitter. And quitting has made a difference in my life. To be candid, I'm still on a journey towards complete acceptance. But each day, I actively invest my time in discovering what truly brings me joy, in surrounding myself with exceptional friends and individuals who support and cheer me on. And I need every bit of support and cheering I can get, because my mission now is a big one. Yes, I am passionate advocate for quitting. But I'm equally passionate about making real, actionable changes in work culture so that we can prevent the movements like the Great Resignation, quiet quitting, and grumpy at work. There is no law of business that says toxic work culture is necessary to make a profit. And there is no rule that says you have to put up with toxic work culture where you work. There is no rule that says you have to let a boss diminish your self-worth and make you feel less than the invaluable individuals you truly are. There is no rule that says you push ahead no matter the cost. There is no rule that says you must endure hardship simply for a paycheck. You can seize control of your life. You can invest in your own growth and personal development. You can break free from the shackles that might be holding you back. You can quit.